Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakeman Gaming. This is me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Tennessee Shuichi's Path. So y'all, let's go ahead and just jump right back into it, shall we? Please sit back and enjoy it for the next 18 minutes of entertaining. Let's jump right in. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Okay. Once lunchtime came around, we had our daily meeting with the usual suspects, other than Shuichi himself, who was conspicuously absent. He shot me a text at some point telling me he had to spend his lunch break working in his classroom and couldn't come by like usual. I tried to ask him if he was blitzing through his overdue assignments so he could try showing up for my competition. He stayed suspiciously silent. Again, reading you isn't difficult at all. Once class was dismissed, Saya and I got together right away to get our rackets checked and restrained. She also took the opportunity to buy a first aid spray and some new knee bracers, since she said hers was starting to get a bit worn out. Considering the fact that in between the two of us we had 7 rackets that needed restringing, we really had to go do it as soon as possible. And even then, we only have a conservative amount of rackets between us. I myself carry 3 with me at all times, while Saya has 4. Given that she's a defensive baseliner and plays a more reactive style, it makes sense for her to have more rackets than I do. Still, we don't even compare to Keisuke, who carries 8 with him. All of them have different levels of tension, different strings, different grips, etc., but it doesn't change the fact that it feels excessive for a high school student. If you're a professional tennis player, if you're a professional tennis player, sure, have as many as you want. I know of some players that have a dozen, but 8 as a junior? Each racket takes between 45 minutes to an hour to thoroughly work on, so it's a good thing our usual store didn't have other people in attendance, let alone letting 2 employees work on our rackets at the same time. The whole time, Sai was grumbling at me about how I could have made us late by coming with her. That 3.5 to 4 hours would be plenty of time to get her stuff done, but if there hadn't been a second employee to work on my stuff, we could have been stuck there for 6 hours or more. Of course, I didn't bother mentioning that her accusations of me being unprepared were also completely applicable to her, since she also was getting her rackets worked on the day of the competition. Still, we were at least lucky that we had enough time to swing by our place, grab our things, and come back here without being late. I did tell you that you ought to have gotten your preparations finished at least a few days beforehand, Mizuguchi-san. Oh, shut up! Nobody likes a know-it-all. It's Yuichi-kun's fault anyway. How so? Need I point out that I had a completely separate employee working on my rackets? Mine were finished before yours were. Yeah, but if you hadn't been there, I could have had both employees working on my stuff and would have had it all done in half the time. Or you could have found a line, had to wait for someone else that was ahead of you, and been late. What did I just say about know-it-all? That's not my fault you're unprepared, Captain. I'll get back to you. You just wait. If you say so. Man, Keisuke really is poking a hornet's nest here. I'll silently hope that I'm not around when Saya decides to get her payback. The last thing I need is to end up involved. Have you 3 put your things away in the bus yet? The driver tells me that we're all set for the trip, so we're only waiting on Hayota-kun and Kana-chan before we leave. Yeah, we're all set. Do you need us to go ahead and board already? It's fine. We can wait until everyone is here. Buses can be very cramped and uncomfortable. I know a lot of you would rather spend as little time inside as possible. Quite true. Really? Personally, I've never found them to be all that bad. Of course you don't. You're tiny. I'm the tallest girl here, you know. I meant in the wideness department. Ah, Yuichi-san, you flatterer. Thanks. That's not what I... Never mind. If you kids will excuse me, I need to check on the other 2 students. No problem, sir. The burly crocodile quickly walked away, going to check on the other 2 girls sitting and chatting under some trees a few meters from us, leaving the 3 of us to our own devices again. Man, I can't wait to finally get there. I'm so excited. What for? It's not like this will be anything new. We've gone to a bunch of those already. I know, but there's something about it being our last regional tournament before we go professional that just makes it so more. That's one way to put it. Shush! It's not like you'd understand what I mean anyway. True, but I can imagine. And I know it's a big deal for you guys. Or, well, at least for you, Mizuguchi-san. Careful. You don't give yourself a bad case of the nerves and end up losing in an upset. Like that would ever happen. Fair enough. I don't think I've ever seen Saya hiccup that badly before. Not that it couldn't happen, but the odds seem pretty low. I wish I had that kind of mental fortitude. My frustration often leads to a drastic deterioration in the quality of my gameplay. At least you're self-aware. Hard not to be after having so many losses against you. There. This is the kind of thing you get better at with practice. Not that you ever have had to practice it. You've always been super cool under pressure, even when we were kids. Yuichi-kun, shush! I'm trying to comfort Keikun here. It's fine. I already know it to be true. Besides, I'd rather not be lied to, if you don't mind. Ah! Oh, wow. That was loud. While Saya continues trying to cheer Keisuke up, I feel my phone buzzing inside my pocket. I quickly fish it out of my pocket, just in time to see a message from Shuichi flashing on the screen. Hope you've had a good day, too. Haven't forgotten about our date tomorrow. Look forward to it. Love you. Have a safe trip. I was hoping I'd be able to see you off, but I got stuck at home. No worries. I appreciate you messaging. Try not to stay up too late. You need good sleep before you play. You do know this isn't my first competition, right? Sorry, I just wish I was there. Wish you were here too, big guy. Love you. Have a safe trip. I will. Talk to you tomorrow. Wow, someone's grinning real hard right now. Huh? Let me guess, it was a message from the boyfriend. You sure are excited about it, huh, Mizuguchi-san? You're like a kid with candy over someone else's relationship. I can't help it. I've known about Shuichi liking him for years. I'm happy that they're together now. And I'm still not used to everyone else knowing about it. Whoa. Do you want us to stop mentioning it? We can do that if you... Nah, it's okay. It's just something I have to get used to sooner or later, but it's really nice of you to offer. You really should speak for yourself, Keikun. I wouldn't stop talking about it even if he asked. Gee, thanks. Hey, you should be used to knowing me already. I've known for a while. Doesn't make it any easier to come to terms with it. All right, everyone, we're all accounted for. Please start boarding the bus so we can get going. We want to get to the hotel before 9 so we can have enough time to get food and bathe. Looks like it's time. These buses only have 2 seats per row, so how are we gonna go about it? One of us will have to sit alone. I don't mind getting on the row behind you two. I prefer being able to close my eyes and rest on trips like these anyway. Aw, thanks, Keikun. Guess this means we'll be able to sit together and chat no problem, Yuichi-kun. Is it too late for me to sit with Keisuke? Rude! You're saying you don't want to spend time with me? Just like that, we took no time boarding the bus. Before long, we were on our way to Tokyo. True to her word, Saya sat behind me and chatted for most of the trip. I'd have preferred to do like Keikun and rest on my way there, but I'd rather deal with a chatty, upbeat Saya than a sulky one. By the time we got to the hotel, it took all the energy I still had to eat my dinner, take my bath, and retire to my room along with Keisuke. I don't even know if he tried to talk to me on the way there, since I passed out as soon as I hit the futon. Ding-ling-ling. When I woke up before even opening my eyes, the first thing I noticed is a faint herbal smell tickling my nose. I sniff around a few times, groaning and turning around in the futon as I feel my whole body creak. Why do I have to feel so stiff in the morning? God, my back hurts! Once the dull throbbing on the back of my head finally dissipates enough that I can think in proper full sentences, I sit up, yawning and looking around the room. I notice what used to be Keisuke's futon neatly folded up next to mine, with not a sign of the hair sleeping anymore. Instead, I look back to see him sitting by the window with his eyes closed, quietly sipping on some tea that I have no idea how he even got. Morning! Ah, you're awake. Good morning. What time is it? Around 6 a.m. The sun has only started to come up. Seriously? I should have been more than enough sleep, so why do I feel like a bus just ran over me? How long have you been awake? A couple of hours. Seriously, did you even sleep at all? You're still up and about by the time I turned in. I don't really need that much sleep. I tend to find that I sleep more than 5 or so hours on average. I wake up feeling run down and bleary. That's all? That's way too little sleep. How do you even function? I could flip that question right back at you. How do you function with 8 to 9 hours of sleep? Don't you feel groggy, fuzzy, and indisposed after that much sleep? I mean, I do right now, but it's not like it's a trend or something. Where did you get that tea? This? I went downstairs and asked for some. What is today? What is today's date? Today? Oh, okay, perfect, okay. Blah, downstairs. From the look on your face, I'm guessing you want to crawl back into your futon instead. Would you like for me to get you some? No thanks, I don't even like tea all that much. Especially if it's green tea. Yuck. I could get you some coffee, or something else entirely. I don't mind. I've just been killing time and waiting for everyone else to wake up. It's fine. I appreciate it, but you don't have to. Just give me a few minutes to get my bearings. That's fair. Waking up in an unfamiliar place can be quite disorienting. So is waking up with someone else in your room when you're not used to it. Yeah, I should have stuck to my guns and kept the room to myself. Excuse me, guys. Actually, nope, never mind. That's a mean thing to even think. Not a morning person, huh? Is anyone? Some people are. It really depends on the person's metabolism more than anything. I myself tend to feel pretty good during mornings. It tends to be a nice, quiet time for me to be alone with my thoughts and reflect. Doesn't that sound good to you? Way too complicated a topic for this early in the morning, Keikun. Ah, sorry. You, Saya, Jun, Shuichi, and is everyone around me perpetually plugged into some kind of power generator? Hopped up on coffee, cocaine? Seriously, where do you people find all this energy? Where did I put my bag? It's on that corner right over there, next to the TV. Thanks. I get up on my feet, raising my arms above my head and taking a moment to stretch my whole body, feeling my back pop once or twice in the process. Sometimes I feel like such an old man. Ooh, can't say I don't see what Arata's so enamored with. Once Keikun whistles and Can't say I don't see... Oh my. Once Keikun whistles and makes that comment, I realize a couple of things. First of all, that I'm stretching myself right in front of my friend while wearing nothing but my boxer briefs. Second, that he's looking right at me while sipping his tea. Third, and most importantly, that I didn't wait long enough for my morning wood to go away. Keep your eyes to yourself! I'm trying to, but there isn't much else to look at in this room. It's not that big. Oh, I meant the room, of course. The room isn't that big. Yours seems. Shut up, 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 shut up! I quickly reach down to grab my pillow, throwing it at the hair as he attempts unsuccessfully to stifle his laughter before I finally turn around and hide myself. Don't look! I'm trying not to. You sure? I have better things to do than to try to sneak peeks at my friends in compromising positions. It's not my fault you let your guard down that badly. Shush! Most guys tend to forget about it. Besides, I don't usually share a room during these, so it's not something I tend to think about. And what's with the comment about seeing what Shuichi sees? You've really just found out about us and you're already cracking jokes? God, I can't ever say anything to you. You take your time getting dressed. I'm going to gather my things and head downstairs. Mizuguchi-sen is also an early riser, if I recall correctly. You don't have to... Keikun raised a hand in the air as if to silence me, grabbing his now empty teacup and his gear bags and heading out the door. Once I'm left alone inside the room again, I let the tension slowly ease from my shoulders, looking around once more to get my bearings now that I'm properly wide awake. It would feel even more awkward if I hid away in the room for fear of facing Keikun again, so I decide to quickly dress myself and head outside as well. Getting downstairs, I take a quick look around at the entrance lobby that I completely ignored last night due to being overly tired. It looks pretty nice, not exactly 5 stars, but it's not some rundown inn either. It for sure beats the place we stayed at last year. I quickly spot Saya-chan and Keikun on a sitting area next to the front doors, walking up to them and setting my bags down along with theirs, getting their attention. Morning! You're down already. I thought it would have taken you longer. What do you mean? Oh, nothing. You don't look too hot. Bad sleep? I know they're still a big part of our culture and everything, but man, futons are not nice. It wasn't that bad. At least they had some back support. Of course you'd say that. You're dainty. Aw, once again, thanks. And once again, not what I meant. Is no one else up yet? Hiyaro-kun was just here. He left to go to the bathroom. And the man manning the front desk told me that Coach had gone out not too long ago to head to the store. What is he even buying? I don't know, cigarettes? He smokes? He sure smells like it. You never noticed. Well, so that's what that strong, bitter smell was. I just thought that's what crocodiles smelled like. They said breakfast would be served at 7. It might be cutting it a little close, but at least we won't have to skip a meal before playing. The opening ceremony will take at least half an hour. Should be plenty of time. Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. I quickly take a look at my phone, checking to see if there's any updates from Jun, Shuichi, or Aki. Predictably, no one has said anything since last night. Probably because it's barely even 6:30 in the morning. Aki and Shuichi would probably be up and around already, but I doubt Jun gets up this early even when he plans on going to school. The tiger's probably on his 8th stage of sleep or something by now. By the way, have you two looked at your schedules yet? I was looking up some videos of my first round opponent last night and this morning, and I think I shouldn't have too much issue with him. I sure would hope so. You're the 6th seed facing up against one of the lowest ranked players in the competition. Well, you looked up who my opponent was? Of course you did. Have you met her? So, what about you, Mizuguchi-san? Were you studying your opponent too? Nah, I was watching a few movies on my phone until I felt drowsy, then I passed out. Movies? Yeah, Bottom Feeders and Bottom Feeders 2, Attack of the Parasites, Bottom Feeders 3, Beyond Earth, and Bottom Feeders 4, Apocalypse, and Bottom Feeders 5, Revengeance. It's a great franchise. What? You sure do love sci-fi, huh? You're not even a little bit surprised. Why would I be? Saya's not the type to analyze opponents or anything of that sort. She just gets on the court and plays however she feels like. That's not the part that's leaving me stumped. Did you miss the part where she watched 5 movies last night? By the time we'd all bathed and finished dinner, it was almost 10. Yeah, so? There's so much wrong with this, I don't even know where to start. Why are you being weird? Never mind. We continued to talk for a few more minutes until one by one the other 4 flocking to the lobby as well. By the time everyone had arrived, Coach finally came back, making up some quick excuses to why he was out before shooing us and telling us to go get breakfast. To say that we all ate in somewhat of a rush would be an understatement. No one wanted to get their first match of the day feeling bloated. A few hours later, once we got registration out of the way and the opening ceremony was finished, most players started going around the venue, heading to their respective courts or waiting for their turns to come around. After all, there's 126 matches to be played over 3 days and 10 courts. Days 2 and 3 will be a lot less hectic, but everything is a bit chaotic right now. Due to having the second match of the day on Court 4, I ended up standing outside and waiting to see if Aki and June would arrive, while Keiken and Sai headed inside for their respective matches. They said they were arriving soon, but there's only 10 minutes before Sai and Keiken's matches start. I always have to end up in a position of waiting around for other people. I wish I could talk to Shuichi right now, but he's going to be in the middle of class. It's not like I'm nervous for this competition, but I still wish he were here. Aniki! My attention is snapped away from my phone at the sound of my name being called. When I look up, I see June and Aki coming up the steps, with June panting and lagging behind slightly. Finally! Jeez, what took you guys so long? So sorry, I got a bit winded getting here. June said getting nervous riding the bus here with so many people, so we had to get out a couple stops here. We had to get out of a couple stops early. Whoa, seriously? It's been a while since I've seen June have one of those, so I completely forgot that was a thing that happened to him. Maybe I should have told him an earlier time just in case. Also, is it just me or is this a deja vu? I'm pretty sure I've seen Aki end up in a position of taking care of June instead of the other way around. Which one of you is the adult here? Are we late? Did they already start? Nope. Sai and Keiken headed inside, but we still have another 9 minutes until their matches start. Thank God! I do have some bad news, though. What? Keiken's and Sai's matches are very far from each other. Keiken's is happening on the secondary building over there. I pointed to a second, somewhat smaller building. The arena the competition was taking place in had 2 buildings with open-air indoor courts. One with 6 and another with 4. The secondary one was slightly less nice and didn't fit as many people inside it, but it was still an upgrade from the venues I'm used to playing at. Most smaller tournaments took place in country clubs or places of that sort. It ended up having their court space further apart from one another and being a bit of a nightmare to get around. I wouldn't consider it an issue at all if it weren't for the fact that our 2 friends were supposed to be playing at the same time in completely separate buildings. Really? Of course they are. Why would this ever be easy? And here I thought going back and forth between you guys' matches was annoying enough last time. Alright guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!